Well, this finally arrived. About 6 to 8 weeks after the rest of it on back order, although it didn't say that on the website, but I'll let them off. You can probably see from there I've already done the hose, done the elbow. When I take this off, I might just see if I can pull them out just to show it. The elbow is miles bigger, like so the old plastic elbow, even the outlet of it, or I suppose it's the inlet, you can fit into the inlet of the aluminium one, the forged one. So first things first, let's check this filter fits. These aren't specific for Mk3 TT, the later one. They're actually Mark 6 Golf. Don't forget to put the tube back on afterwards. But it fits, it's the same. Just that distance I think is slightly different on the Golf, so it's a little bit of a stretch, but I have got the hoses full pushed on right up to the very end. So these are T25s, there's about 100 of them. One in the back corner is the one that you can forget. Forget to undo, I mean, or forget to tighten, whichever process you're doing. These are captive screws as well, so you don't need to unscrew them all the way. Once you feel them go loose, and basically if you hear them dropping back into the thread, you've gone fair enough. Like that. Which is also the best way to fit them as well. Turn them backwards till they drop into the thread and then turn them forwards, otherwise going into plastic you can cut yourself a new thread every time, and that's not what you want. So if we can lift this up, don't think we can get the how's the elbow out, and in truth I don't really want to, but what I can probably do is twist it up out of the way for a little bit. So the old the Audi plastic elbow, I've got some pictures, I'll see if I can add them onto comments or something. It has like a screw, and it twists in on the O-ring, locks into place. The forged one doesn't have the screw, but it can't go anywhere. So like even now, even though I've unbolted all the filter, it still can't come out. So it bothered me a little bit at first, but then I got over it. So the old one, I think this is the original filter. I don't think I've ever had a filter in this. I think they do it every 3 years. Maybe, I don't know. So I've cleaned this out a few times, but it's getting a little bit, you know, the glue's broken and stuff. Plus it doesn't look as cool. So most of this, I said on the other video, most of this is about trying to get a bit more sound. I'm not so worried about performance, this is quick enough. I mean, I might go a bit, I might have a tune on it one day, but put this in dynamic, it's pretty quick. Quick enough for UK roads anyway. Maybe not for a track. In fact, definitely not for a track. So let's open this. Keep our fingers crossed. So I like it's blue as well. I wanted to go, well, part of the reason, I mean I like forged stuff anyway, but I wanted to go with the blue, and it's cold air, it's supposed to be cold air, it's a cold air intake. So blue makes more sense to me. You can get the hoses and stuff in red. I think the filters are always blue then. But does it fit? Does it fit? Does it fit? Of course it fits. Yeah, I wasn't 100% confident. Like I say, it's a Golf fitment, but it's the same, you know, it's practically the same engine. It's just, you know, when it's in a slight, the chassis is the same, but you never know if it's gonna, I think the box is the same, but like I say, with the hose, it's a bit of a stretch. You'll probably see when I come to put it back on. You have to kind of stretch it to clip it on. But I don't mind that, because that's why I did all the Jubilee clips up first. Because otherwise it was kind of pulling the hose half off the fitting. And it didn't look flush, it didn't look nice, it didn't look like a good fitment. So if I twist that back a little bit, So where that sits naturally is there, but where it wants to go is a bit further. So you have to kind of pull it a little bit. Just manipulate it a little bit. And that's not right, we need a bit more light here. Which is why I was struggling, because I haven't got the light on. Let's push this one back up out of the way. Just check that's still in place. So the back kind of sits okay, but then the front you kind of have to twist it, because the hose, it's quite a substantial silicone hose. But that now is sat down. Drop it into the thread. In fact, this is probably better just in. Drop it into the thread, nip it down. Like I said before, this just saves you cutting yourself a new thread every flipping time. It does depend on the quality of the plastic though, to be honest. If you've got good quality plastic, you'll be fine. Because naturally it'll drop into the thread anyway. While we're here, put the tube back on. I think that's a breather hose, I think. But then it goes off. Goes to the case, but then it goes off somewhere else as well. Drop it in, tighten it down. Because this is just a case and it clips over the top, there's no particular order you have to do. I mean, it's not like doing a leading cylinder head or something. And that's a good tip for any time you're going into plastic as well. Even if you've got self-tappers going into, well, especially if you've got self-tappers going into plastic. Because if you just screw them with a bit of, you know, a little bit of force behind them, they'll cut a new thread. And if that thread's right behind the other one, you'll have no thread left eventually. All good? Still recording? Yes. Can listen to my dulcet tones. And out of breath because I'm mega unfit. Can't hear that one dropping, so I'll have to just go with that one. So I'm not putting loads of force on them, they're not going to go anywhere. This is quite a sturdy handle. I certainly won't have a ratchet on them or anything. Just a light grip on it. And maybe I'm over-egging it a bit, but I do have a tendency. I'm not a massive guy. I'm probably a small-sided medium, small-sided medium, but I have a tendency to over-crank stuff. So I am always trying to be careful. Right, let's tidy up. So there's the old one. A lot thicker, and obviously it's just paper. So you can't see it, but it should give us a bit more performance, tiny bit. But I want, more importantly, I care about, does it sound any better? So let's have a whirl. I don't know what that sounded like on the video, but on the in the car it definitely sounds better. So it's not as pronounced obviously as it was when I tested it with no filter, but I'd say it's at least halfway. And this is probably going to be a little bit easier to clean than the other one anyway. The Audi one, you can sort of tap them out and stuff, but that glue's prone to breaking because they're only disposable filters. And because they're so deep as well, there was bits of straw and stuff in there and you couldn't really get at them. Even with the vacuum, it didn't pull most of it out. So, I guess the other thing I can do, because I've got a makeshift mount on here, so this is stuck to my headlight because I can't find the tripod. But you know, sometimes if you're in your garage, you have to improvise, don't you? So if we just take this off. Have a quick look down here. So you can't really see the elbow that well from up here, but you see there's the forged, the aluminium elbow. Don't know whether we could see it any better from down. No, you can't see it from that side. And you'll see there's a little locking tab, and the locking tab's not fully engaged. So I wanted those locking tabs fully engaged really, but because of the position of because the hose is pre-made, it's not, you know, it's made to that distance. And I think if it was a little bit longer, probably, I don't know, 5mm, 10mm, it'd push this up and twist it round. But it's on an O-ring. It's latched into a, what do you call it, groove or whatever you want to call it. So it's not going anywhere, but just as an engineer it makes me a little bit nervous. If you can see, if I go, see that tab. But the look of it, that looks like it's squashed against there, but it's not. Okay, so that looks bad. But that looks nice. This definitely sounds a bit louder, a bit better. I've got a forged sticker with this, but I don't know where to put it. What I'd really like is this thing's all scuffed. I'd like a gloss or a carbon one of this. I think the carbon one, you can only get it with an induction kit, and I want to keep the stock one. Well, apart from that's a bit obvious if you've got a big giant blue pipe on. But anyone looks at the rest of it, it looks pretty stock. All right, I think that's everything. I'm gonna go out and give it a test drive. See you later. Bye.